Hi everyone, welcome to week 9 of our Composition 1 class. This week we'll start working on writing project 3, which asks you to explore a question through personal reflections and research. One tip for this week: try to spend some time really contemplating a research question. Try to find something that's truly interesting to you, not just something that you think will be easy to write about. Your paper and the whole research process is going to be more engaging. It's going to be easier. It's going to feel more rewarding if you spend time this week thinking about questions that matter to you. As a real quick side note before I move on, I input midterm grades earlier today, so you should be able to see those, I believe. It's just in terms of satisfactory or unsatisfactory. In the grade book for our class is also more or less up to date, with the exception of writing project 2. I'll begin grading writing project 2 tomorrow, Tuesday, the 26th. But it may take 2 or 3 days before I am completely done grading that assignment. For task 9.1, you should familiarize yourself with the assignment for writing project 3. That, like all of our writing projects, can be found over here on the left in the writing projects tab. That will have all the information that you need for writing project 3. And make sure to also watch the video that goes along with it as well. That video should be really pretty helpful in explaining what this project entails. For task 9.2, as per usual, you're going to do some readings. From our textbook, you should read Choosing a Topic, which is pages 172 through 173. And then also read Does Texting Affect Writing, which is pages 131 through 139. And then from the composition reading bank, you should read the article Is Google Making Us Stupid? There's a link to that right here. These readings will help you think about a topic for Project 3 and will also form the basis of one of your discussion board posts this week. If you'd like, you can take a look at the Student Success Gallery for week 13 to see some samples of writing Project 3. For task 9.3, you're going to make your Wednesday discussion board post. For this post, please answer the following. Look more closely at the texting and Google readings for this week. In what ways do those pieces help you understand the genre you'll be writing for writing Project 3? For example, what did you notice about those readings in terms of voice, use of sources, questions and answers, etc.? Did the writers do things you want to try to do in your own writing? And if so, what? For task 9.4, you are going to think about some potential research questions for writing Project 3. First, remember that ultimately the question you choose should be of interest to you right now. It should be focused, but not too narrowly. So it shouldn't be a question that there is a single definitive answer to, but you also don't want something that's so broad that you won't be able to tackle it in a paper of this size. Your question should have some personal connection to your own life. It should be answerable with the help of outside sources. So if it's not a question that you can find a potential answer to with the help of research, is probably not a good question for this type of assignment. And it should also be something that you haven't already answered or made up your mind about. This should be something that you actually want to research, you actually want to learn more about. It should not be something that you already have a very firm opinion on. With these guidelines in mind, you should use one or both of the brainstorming activities below to work towards an appropriate question for this upcoming project. Like our normal brainstorming activities, you can mix and match from these various options below. The important thing is that you produce a substantial amount of writing. I want to see that you have really thought about the research question or questions that you came up with. Your first option is to respond to some specific prompts. I will not read through all of these here. You can read those on your own. And you can also take a look at the Student Success Gallery for week 9 for some examples of how other students have responded to these prompts, if you want to kind of get a feel for how you could go about answering these. And then option 2 is our standard list of various brainstorming and pre-writing techniques that we have used for the previous 2 projects. After using some of those brainstorming methods, think about all the topics you came up with and decide which one interests you the most, and then fill out the following. So don't forget about this down here at the bottom. This is important. I want to study blank because I want to better understand blank. Now state your topic in the form of a question. And does your question generate more questions about this topic? Please write 2 to 3 other or related questions that your topic brings to mind. For task 9.5, you're going to make your Friday discussion board post. For this post, please answer the following. Number 1, after completing at least some of the topic generation activities for this week, post a couple of the questions you came up with, preferably ones that you're really considering pursuing for your project. Explain why you're interested in those questions. Then for number 2, read through your classmates' posts and write responses to at least 2 of them. Explain which questions you think are most promising and why. Also, as you read your peers' research questions, consider whether the questions meet the following guidelines. Does the student seem to be generally interested in the question? Genuinely, I should say, not generally. Is the question focused but not too narrow? Does the question have some personal connection to that student's life? Does the question seem to be answerable with the help of secondary sources, things like articles or things from newspapers, magazines? Is the question something the student hasn't already answered or made up their mind about? And then finally, you will submit your work. This week, you are just submitting the pre-writing that you did in response to task 9.4. If you have any questions for me, if you'd like me to help you out with anything, please let me know, and I would be happy to do so.